Hello, Zuko here. If you don't know, my name's Jess, but I go by Zirin on the internet because one time I was 15. My dog is gonna be snoring in the background of this video. I might not be as high energy as I could be. I've been having health problems, and then my 1-year-old lab ended up with parvo last week and almost died, and we just got him home today, so it's been like a stressful time and just bad timing all around. He was fully vaccinated. He shouldn't have gotten parvo, so it was extra stressful because anytime you Google parvo, it's like, it's preventable, just vaccinate your dog. And I'm like, I did, still got it. So yeah, that's my life right now. How are you? Great. We're gonna wrap up all of the videos, all of the books that I've read in the month. Oh no, this is off to a great start. I'm gonna wrap up all of the books that I have read in the month of March. I believe there are like 22 of them because it's been stressful, so I've been reading a lot, which isn't true because as soon as things got stressful, I kind of started reading really slowly. But anyway, let's start from the beginning, and when we get to the end, we'll stop. The first book I read technically last month is Iron Widow by Zirin Zhao, I believe is how you pronounce their name. This book was not as good as everyone made it out to be. It really felt like the main character had been like dropped into this world with like modern day feminist takes in a world where that didn't make any sense for her to have. And I didn't really like it. I didn't really care what was going on. Yeah, I gave this like a 2 out of 5 stars. Next, I read Light from Uncommon Stars by Rika Aoki. I don't know how to explain this book, but I really liked it. Does that sell it for you? This book is musical. This book has great representation, and in this book, all of the villains are men, and all of the women are just like delightful people. That's my review of this book, is that I loved it, 5 stars. Then I read Gallant by Ve Schwab, and I'm hoping it was just like wrong place, wrong time when I read this book, because so far I have 2. This is, I think, the Waterstones edition. It's got its sprayed edges. This is the Sáenz like North American release edition. But yeah, I found this book so bland, and I didn't care. I'm hoping that I just wasn't interested because of when I read it, and I'm gonna give it another shot. And I think I have the Illumicrate edition coming this week. So yeah, I'm gonna give it another shot eventually. So I have this unrated at the moment. Yeah. Then someone mentioned that they liked the audiobook of The Amazing Book Is Not on Fire by Dan Howell and Phil Lester, and I happen to have access to that suddenly, so I listened to it, and it wasn't bad. I definitely don't need to own the physical book, and I'm glad I didn't stick with reading the physical book because I do prefer like non-fiction books to be read by their authors. I liked it, but it was also weird because there was like weird fanfic elements in it, and I thought that was odd. Yeah, I'm not their target demographic as like a grown-ass adult. So yeah, this was like a 3-star read. Then I read The Lives of Saints by Leigh Bardugo. This is just like a fun little tie-in book explaining all of the saints that have existed in the Grishaverse. I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. Then I read Year of the Reaper by Makia Lucier. This is a, I think, Fairy Loot edition book. I'm gonna be so honest. I know that this book was like inspired by the Black Plague. I have no fucking clue what this book was about. I know I read it. I know the cover's pretty, but clearly it wasn't like a standout novel. Oh yeah. No, up here. Okay. I'm just gonna lump these ones together. Okay. I read Zeros, I read Swarm, and I read Nexus, all by Scott Westerfield, Margot Lanigan, and Deborah Banicotti. These are a sci-fi superhero-y kind of trilogy. They were super fun, but I don't know that I'm gonna keep them because I don't think I'm ever gonna reread them, but I'm glad I read them. I'm glad I finally got to it, although I hate this cover. I think it's ugly. I wish they stuck with these 2 covers. But yeah, these were just a fun, like, weird superhero, like, kind of motley crew, I guess. Unlikely group of friends. Yeah, it's fine. It's fun. Then I read Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by... I need to look up their names before I do these, and I don't remember how to pronounce it. Like Benjamin Alire Sáenz. I didn't like this book. I thought the prose were stilted, plot was weird, and the ending was bad. Like, spoilers for this book, I guess, because this used to be like the only queer book that you could read. It was like this and Song of Achilles were your 2 options, but like this has parents sitting their son down and being like, son, you're gay. And this was a bad book and I didn't like it. I might read the sequel just if it's at the library as an audiobook, but like, this is not a good book. At one point, I tried to read Gingerbread by Helen Oyeyemi. This book was weird. It had like an interesting like writing style and stuff, but I had no idea what was going on ever. So I did DNF this one. Aristotle and Dante was 2 stars. This trilogy, this Zeros trilogy, was 3 stars all around. Next, I DNF'd Grimrose Girls by Laura Pohl. This book was really boring and I didn't care about anything that was going on, and I wanted to love it so bad, so I'm frustrated by that. And also there's a character in here whose story is supposed to be like Beauty and the Beast, and the girl that they're dating, which, you know, then makes them the beast to the main character's beauty, is trans, and that was icky. So yeah, glad I didn't read it, I guess. Then I read Tide Song by Wendy Zhu. This was a super cute graphic novel about a girl who wants to go to school to become a witch, and instead she ends up entangled with dragons. This was awesome. I give it 5 stars. Then I read The Summer of Jordi Perez and the Best Burger in Los Angeles by Amy Spalding. This book was cute enough. It was queer, but I hate the lack of communication trope really badly a lot. And the two main characters, whatever the main character is, and Jordi, they spend so much time together, but it's always with them kissing and never with them like just talking and like being people. So like I feel like they don't know anything about each other, but like they kiss a lot for a long time. So cool. This is a 3-star read. Then I read The Girl from the Sea by Molly Knox Ostertag. I've been trying to read my graphic novels to make sure I can like kind of whittle down my collection eventually. So far I've liked all the ones I've read. This is about a girl who ends up kind of falling for a Selkie who is only allowed to come on land every 7 years, and it was super cute and I liked it. 5 stars. Then I read The Art of Breaking Things. This is a super heavy novel by Laura Simpson about a about to be high school graduate who's kind of trying to come to terms with and make art surrounding a traumatic event that happened to them in their past that has kind of sprung up and is threatening them again, and now threatening their younger sister. I really liked this book. I gave it 4 to 5 stars. Then I read Golden Sun by Pierce Brown. I like this world. I like these books, but also there's so much like tactical bullshit and military planning and fight scenes, and all of them like you can just feel wind blowing through one ear and out the other when those starts happening, because like none of it's retained. I never know what's going on, but I have fun. So that's something. I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. Then I DNF'd Don't Call the Wolf by Alexandra Ross, which was maddening because I really wanted to read it because it's in the, there's a Goodreads list of books with the Baba Yaga in them. And this is on there. And then I didn't even get to the part where she was mentioned, and I think she was only there apparently for like 5 minutes. So I guess it's a good thing. What happened? I hope this cover was clear because it looked really glossy, but it's not. So yeah, this was just really straight, boring romance that I didn't care to finish. So yeah, DNF. Then I read The Baba Yaga's Assistant by Marika Makula, illustrated by Emily Carroll. This was a super cute book about a girl running away to the Baba Yaga to become her apprentice, and it's cute. I really liked it. 5 stars. Then I read Sundial by Catriona Ward, and I spent the first bit of this book. Like this book has a lot of trigger warnings. One of the main ones like right away is like domestic abuse, and that really stresses me out because lying really stresses me out in books. So like the husband pretending everything was like fine in front of other people really stressed me out, because like when people are lying, I was like, how are you going to get out of this? And I thought this book maybe was going to have some like problematic elements in terms of like an autism coded character, but it didn't. So this is a like familial horror novel about a family that has a lot of fucking issues. I really liked this book. I didn't expect to, but I gave this a 5 stars, and I loved the cover, so I'm so glad I loved it. Then I read Magic for Liars by Sarah Gailey. This is a adult like mystery novel about someone who is investigating a murder at a magical school. Their sister is magical, but they are not. And they're investigating this murder because they know about the magic world, and they're a private investigator, I think. But yeah, I actually can't tell how I feel about this book. I think I'm gonna have to reread it like before I make a decision on whether I keep it or not. But this is not my first Sarah Gailey book. They write a lot of queer books. Not sure how I feel about them. I gave this a 3 star. Then I read Only a Monster. This is the Fairy Loot, I think, edition by Vanessa Len. This book is set in a world where there are people called monsters who can steal people's time by, I think, touching your neck. They can take minutes, hours, days, years of your life and travel in time forward or backward that amount. And I think this is about a boy who's also been programmed to like kill these monsters. This was fine. I liked the premise. I didn't love the execution. And there were 2 boys. There was like the monster boy and then the hero boy. And they were both just bland. The monster boy's personality was, I was rich and I have connections. And the hero's personality was, I am a good guy. I kill monsters. So that was really boring. And also like the main characters had names like Ruth, and I don't even know the main character's name. And there's like a point early on in this book where there's supposed to be like a climactic end of a chapter where they like find out something about a character, but I heard the name Bruce instead of Ruth. So I was like, who the fuck is Bruce and why am I supposed to care about them? Were they introduced and I just missed it? No, I just heard wrong. This was like a 3-star read. Then I have League of Liars by Astrid Schultz. This was a cover buy because I like skulls. This is a I actually have no memory of reading this book. This is a heist, I think, with like a ragtag group of people, maybe? I know there were multiple perspectives, but the women in this book I think had no personalities. Am I right? Let's see. Let's read my review. 3 stars. This book was fine. All the world building was info dumped in the first chapter, so pretty much immediately it left my brain and never returned. So much was left unexplained, and the world was underdeveloped. All the characters were pretty meh, and none of the women had discernible personalities, and it felt like they all existed to move the plot along. Not that the main characters were much better, but they got more page time, so you could at least pretend they weren't flat characters if you squinted. Is this a standalone or will a sequel be announced? Because that ending was a cliffhanger with no resolution. So those are my feelings on this book that I don't remember reading. I guess I read it. I think I'll continue on with that series. Same with Only a Monster. That was a 3-star book, I guess. We're getting to the point where I don't remember these books at all, and these are the ones I've read most recently. Then I read The Ravenous Dark by A.M. Strickland. I actually liked this book, but I also don't really remember what it was about. There were people with like weird blood magics, and by law in this country they're like connected to like a dead warrior who can like stop them if they're gonna go mad with blood magic power or something. I don't know. The main character was pansexual. I think there was a polyamorous relationship. I don't really understand what happened at the end, but I really enjoyed this book. It was a 5-star read. Then I read Upright Women Wanted by Sarah Gailey. This is a like very short novella about some dystopian world, and this is another one where I think I'm gonna have to reread it because I don't think I knew what was happening the whole time, and it's only a 4-hour audiobook, so I don't know where the disconnect was, and I think I may have just been having a brain day where my brain did not want to focus on that book. Then I read The Atlas 6, and I think I'm gonna do a dedicated video to that book because I have opinions, but essentially something about this book made me want to keep reading it, even though the world building didn't exist. Nothing was described. I couldn't tell you what the location they were at was like at all. I didn't really like any of the characters. The characters were supposed to have chemistry with each other, I think, but they didn't. There was nothing. Like, we saw glimpses of them throughout an entire year, and like all of the times they were like doing schemy things and never just like talking and like getting to know each other and being people. So like you never liked them, you never liked their interactions with each other. There was like unnecessary horniness that I didn't need in my book. And like I liked the world and I liked the magic and I would like to know more about that, and I didn't get any of that, and somehow I kept reading and never thought about DNFing. So I don't know how to rate this one either. And lastly, I read Bitter by Akwa Amezi, and this is their sequel to Pet. I read Pet last year or the year before that. I've read Pet, and this is a sequel, but I guess not. It's a prequel that follows, I believe, Pet's mother, Bitter, and them kind of being the catalyst for the angels that are talked about in Pet. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I think you could read them either way, because I did, but I would probably read Bitter before I read Pet, but I really liked it. I gave it 4 to 5 stars. I do have that here. Wait, where is it? I don't know where it is. All of my new books are up there, and I finished this book today, so I didn't take it off of my haul shelf. Currently, I am reading The Mirror Season by Anna Marie Macklemore. This is I'm reading a lot of books by I think non-binary authors this month, or authors that use they them pronouns. I don't know that they always identify as non-binary, but this currently I'm like a third of the way through and I don't really understand what's going on. I think I missed something important in like the first chapter, but that's fine. I'm enjoying it. I like the writing style. This is the second one of their books that I've read. The first one was that Deepest Darkest Red or something, and I didn't love that one. I think this one's told in a much better way to get the story across. Maybe I'll review this in the April wrap up, but there's a good chance I won't, so I'm letting you know now. I'm gonna put this one over here. Okay, so these are all of the books that I've read this month. You might notice that I've split them into 2 parts. These are the books that I'm gonna be unhauling. So this month I am unhauling 9 books. It's not too bad. I read like 21 books, keeping all the others. Like, I feel like I've done a pretty good job. I wonder if I bought 9 books in March. I don't know, because I've been waiting to do a haul video. Let me know down below your favorite book that you read in the month of March. Hopefully I get this video out sometime soon. I had my February wrap up filmed all month, and I've just been so busy and drained and tired. Ugh. So yeah, I'm hoping to try to get back on track, but if I don't know, it's because I am disabled and my life is a mess. So yeah, let me know down below your favorite book that you read this month, and I will see you whenever I do my next video. Time to pick up a bunch of books in my hands and hope I don't drop them. Okay, get off me.
Stop it. Stop